Hey, what's going on? It is the ManFUzed Podcast. I am Kay Lee, audio producer, sitting here with my real estate broker co-host, Ben H.
What's up, family?
There's so much to cover. I don't know that we're going to be able to do it.
There's a lot going on in this wild, wild world.
First, I got some babysitter drama. That has caused a rift in my household between my wife and I. And I think that's territory you never want to be in, babysitter drama.
Yeah, I don't know the nature of this drama, but my mind is just running.
That's the tease.
Yeah, my mind is running wild.
Yes, let it. The ManFUzed Podcast, Ben, has hit a new milestone. It's one that most people wouldn't celebrate, but damn it, I'm going to celebrate it.
That's right.
We are going to celebrate it.
Yes, we are.
Because if I say I in my household, when it refers to something like, hey, in my bed, my wife's like, oh, your bed.
Yeah. Right.
Or my money. And, if you say it's ours, you know it's ours.
Well, yeah, but the truth is, maybe I wouldn't be celebrating it. I don't know what the milestone is.
Oh, I think you'll celebrate.
But I'm just saying, ManFUzed offers the freedom to agree to disagree.
Of course, you can disagree, but I know you. We've been friends long enough.
That's true. Probably right.
If you don't agree,
if
you don't agree with this milestone, I will be shocked
and offended
and probably turn off the mics and walk out, storm out. Also, there's some drama with the brand Balenciaga, and also big drama with more Kanye West unraveling.
This guy.
First, I got some babysitting drama, Ben.
Yeah? What happened?
As you know, I went down to Florida to hang out with Mr. Mike Wallace.
Right.
Whom I can say now that we are satisfied we have our SpaceX shirts.
They took a little while to get here.
They did.
But we have them now. Not tried mine on yet, but yours fits like a glove.
It's about as good of a t-shirt as you will get at the ManFUzed merch store.
Exactly.
Quality, soft, multi-blend, tri-blend shirt, whatever.
By the way, we've got merch at the ManFUzed store. So if you want to rock a hoodie, you want a coffee cup, dude, we got some quality stuff. And guess what? Nobody knows this. I'm the graphics designer.
Yes, he is.
I designed the shirts. I designed the clothing.
Yes, he
does. The logo.
Yes.
This is all in-house. Little hidden talent.
Many hidden talents.
Go pick up some merch if you like what you hear.
Included in the episode description of every ManFUzed episode, you will find a link to our merch store.
And we're growing.
Yeah.
We're growing solidly. And shout out to one of our great listeners, Brian McDaniel. Brian, we love you, bro. Thank you for the communication. Thank you for listening.
This guy races raptors.
Yeah, and I have a raptor.
I'm waiting on Brian and he has extended a invite, but nothing concrete. But Brian, now you know.
Yep.
The world knows.
That's right.
We want to take Ben's Raptor.
We do.
And we want to go do something fun.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Kaylee and Ben H., we've got a Raptor. We want to join.
Exactly. We're just waiting on the official invite.
Well, we just need the coordinates.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Yeah.
Took my family over Thanksgiving to go see Mike Wallace, who our kids are very close with. We're very close with.
Right.
Saw his new house. If there's anybody that rocks SpaceX down to the socks, Mike has got all. Like he is. Oh my God, dude. He's got the SpaceX socks, the underwear. I mean, it's almost extreme. I think he even got his license plate.
Does he have a Tesla?
No.
That's weak. Come on, Mike.
Oh, man. Well, you know what?
Step up your game, bro. He could probably get a good deal on one.
You know what? Probably could have afforded one if he wouldn't have left $50,000 on the table. But we don't want to bring that up again.
Thrown that into the deal.
There you go. Just rub it in, make it hurt more. That's what we do.
Of course, we'd never bring that up on the show.
No, we would never do that. We don't want to make him feel bad about himself or, some of the dumb decisions he's made in life. I hired a dog sitter. If you've been listening to the podcast, if you've heard me on the Burt Show, I've got 4 dogs.
You do?
2 small, 2 big. The girl that I commissioned to come and dog sit on occasion has sat for my kids as well. While it is a bit of a rotation because you can't mix the big dogs with the small dogs, so they have to go out separately, and now the big dogs have to go out separately due to the fight that they got into.
I was wondering, how's your mallet finger?
My finger is
pretty
healing,
good.
But look at the curve.
Oh, it's definitely malleted.
I got a fucking ugly pinky, dude.
That's all right.
I have to go back to the doctor for a checkup.
Nice.
And I'm going to start wearing the splint. But while the cut, I mean, you remember how deep it was.
It was bad.
Human body is pretty impressive.
It's incredible.
Within 2 weeks of that deep to the tendon gash.
It's regenerative.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some healing. I can feel some scar tissue. Anyway, so now there's an additional rotation. She was to come 3 times a day to take care of the dogs. And I even encouraged her, hey, if you want to spend the night, spend the night. Her sister has sat for us as well. I said, you can bring your sister. They both live at home with their mom. So this is the routine that she was supposed to do. You want to spend the night here? I would actually prefer it because the dogs will get more attention.
Dude, when we go out of town and we prefer to have someone stay at our house, let the dog out. Enjoy the house, but your dog's taken care of, for sure.
Right, and your dog's getting attention. We crate our dogs when we're not home, so I don't want them just out for 5 minutes and then shoved back in there.
Exactly.
I didn't know this at the time, but I guess the first night we left, she decided to exercise that right and spend the night.
You didn't know that she was going to.
I didn't know that she had at this point.
But you had offered.
I did set the stage for it. I said, if there's food, help yourself to food.
Did Mrs. Kaylee know that you had offered?
Oh, yeah. She was totally on board.
Got it.
So we go through Thanksgiving. We have a great time. We're on our way home. Pretty much great communication with the dog sitter.
Yes.
And so I get home. It's like 10 o'clock at night. A trip that should take 7.5 hours. Both directions of traveling ended up taking almost 10, which is miserable when you go in your head thinking this is going to take 7.5.
Yeah.
So as soon as we get home, my wife is looking around, and now my wife spent a insane amount of time cleaning before we left because she wanted to make sure we came home to a clean house.
It's always really nice.
Plus, I have my brother who lives in Australia that is coming to stay with me for an entire month.
Wow.
So there is a lot of getting the house ready for my brother, his wife, and his 2 kids.
Right.
Staying here for almost a month.
That's rowdy.
Very rowdy.
Where are they going to stay?
I mean, I got room.
Are they doing basement or are they doing guest rooms?
The guest bedroom
kids
is where...
are going to split a room or something?
Well, the kids have multiple options. The kids can stay down here on the couch in the basement. They can sleep in the living room.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my kids will still be in school during a good portion of their stay. Yeah. So them pulling out the bed couch or whatever and staying in the living room, they'll get disturbed. I think we're going to put them in my son's room because he's got bunk beds.
Yeah.
And then my son will sleep either in my room for the time being or wherever we decide to stick him.
Right.
Anyway, so we get home and my wife instantly is like, look how dirty the floor is. And I'm just bringing stuff into the house.
Sure.
And I'm like, thinking she's just over exaggerating.
Right.
It's just leaves. Leaves are all over my backyard.
Right.
My little dogs track in leaves that stick to their hairy asses. When
you're thinking that, she's talking about stuff that you're tracking in as you're bringing in
dogs or the dogs.
Or maybe the dog's coming in and out.
Well, typically there's some accumulation. And my wife's like, look how gross the floor is. She's looking. She's like, that is a Converse footprint.
Oh.
That is a boot footprint. Oh. Just look how gross the floor is. And she instantly starts sweeping. And here again, I'm like, it's probably from the dogs. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not noticing. I'm oblivious. My son opens up the refrigerator and instantly calls out, and I don't know why he noticed this, where is the top to the whipped cream? We don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I don't remember if the top was on it when we left or not.
Right.
I'm still moving stuff into the house. I go down to the basement. I let the dogs out. I come back up, and my wife goes, oh, we found the top to the whipped cream.
Where was it?
Under the couch.
Maybe doing a little ice cream sundae?
Who? We have no ice cream. There's no ice cream in the house.
So maybe just whipped cream.
I guess. And then all this white residue we start to notice. White residue on my walls.
Oh.
On my couch.
Ooh.
On my floor.
Disgusting.
Sticky white residue. Whipped cream.
Oh, that was so they were having a whipped cream party.
I guess.
Obviously.
I mean, I don't know.
They covered each other in whipped cream and were slamming each other around the house on the floor and up against the wall.
Or would they come out like a bottle of champagne and shake it and just start spraying it?
I don't know.
That's messed up. Then I notice on my kitchen table that, and I don't care about this part of it, but I noticed there are some ashes on the table. So then my wife goes and looks in the trash can, finds 2 water bottles that have a carb-sized hole.
Oh, no.
Looked for like a bong.
How old are these dog sitters?
17.
Okay,
17.
yeah.
She's 17. But ultimately, she's a good kid. And here's the thing. I don't think she was smoking weed. I mean, there was definite weed smoking going on.
Oh, she was definitely smoking weed in your house.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think she was. I mean, it could have been. My gazebo light was on.
Well, I'm sure
they were out there hanging out,
I'm sure they were hanging out there, too. But ashes being on the table would indicate that at least the bowl was being emptied and packed at the table. Why would you empty? I don't know. It's just weird.
I mean, she could have set it down. Maybe some ashes like kind of fell out of it. My wife at this point she's starting to cry. That's how mad she is. We entrusted you.
Yeah.
So when I got home and I went downstairs to let one of the big dogs out, one of the big dogs was already out. Winter, the pit bull, if you don't do her cage tight, she can break out of it. She knows how to unlock it.
Right.
I go check the back room, and there's this pile of horse shit on the floor and some piss. So I clean that up. That's strike one. I call her mom, and I'm like, listen, this is the deal.
That's the worst, getting your mom called.
I texted her first, and I said, so I got home to the shit and the piss. I said, FYI, this is the one I'm texting the dog sitter.
Right.
I said, but there seems to be whipped cream all over the place, on walls. And we found the whipped cream top underneath the thing. The dog sitter comes clean and says, well, Monday night, I did have my friend come over and she slept here. She had a friend over that wasn't her sister who spent the night.
Right.
And apparently they also had another friend.
Oh, I'm sure there was more than 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Whom was a guy that hung out here for a little bit, is what I was told.
Yeah.
But she knows nothing of the whipped cream. She's like, I have no idea, but I'll ask my friend. And I'm thinking to myself,
I'm sitting here thinking of a wild party, bro.
Yeah.
Between one dude, one lucky man.
Well, on my couch and on myself.
On your couch.
Well, but what if they were huffing the CO2 like a whippet?
Well, if they were doing that, then you can't squeeze after that. After the pressure is gone, then there's no whipped cream.
And there was still pressure in the what was left.
So so that wasn't the case.
So my question to you, Ben, is, and she admitted that someone else was here, and then someone else was here. Why would I pay her?
I wouldn't.
At all? 0?
I mean,
I was going to give her $200. 3 full days of coming 3 times a day. Now, I'm not saying I should forfeit all of it, but who was on their hands and knees cleaning it? Now me and my wife are cleaning up the mess.
Yeah. I expect a teenager watching my house to have a certain level of fun, and I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? But clean up after yourself. Don't leave evidence of whatever you were smoking or whipped cream and, mop the floor. I mean, honestly, that's a conversation that I have with them sometimes is I'll say, listen, make sure the house is clean as it was when you got here, kind of a thing. That typically does it. I don't know. I mean, the dock and pay is an interesting question because nothing was necessarily broken.
No, except my trust.
Except your trust. and your wife's spirit.
Yeah. And that's worth money.
And that's worth money, damn it. I mean, you could maybe dock her $50 or something like that, like kick her $150, you know what I mean?
Probably not use her again. Because
definitely not use her again, you know what I'm saying?
And it's pretty disrespectful. I mean, especially...
look, again, I don't know not use her again. I mean, look, if the dogs were okay, if the dogs had a good time, but you did have to clean up dog stuff when you got back too.
I did.
So she didn't do a good job there anyway. No, I probably wouldn't use her again, man. I mean, you might dock her a little bit here or there, maybe $20 to $50. I'd say on the low 20, on the high 50.
Well, I called her mom. I was a little conflicted. This is the deal. This is what we got home to. And I've already reached out to her. Wouldn't have even have cared about the bongs. Even if I would have found them and uncovered there's some ashes on the table. Empty water bottles that smell like weed are in my trash can still. They tried to put it under something. Take out the fucking trash.
Just stupid shit.
Yeah, dumb.
I've got more of a problem with the dog waste.
winter can break out.
Yeah.
And if she had to go to the bathroom, it didn't look like it had been there very
Winter's
long.
the big pit.
Yeah, she's the blue pit. And I said, I'm a little conflicted because I was going to give her $200. Now we're having to come home and clean or get someone to clean, and that costs money. And so the mom said to me, she's like, well, she did come there 3 times a day. It was a lot. She did do the job. And my wife in the background is going, if you work at Publix and you're stocking shelves and you have X amount of shit to stock, but you break 65 things and cost the company money in the interim of you.
You're going to get fired.
Or they're going to dock your pay, or they're going to make you pay for it. What the mom wanted me to do is have her come over and clean it. How deflating is that?
Yeah.
Face us. There's a spot here and here. All right, Cinderella, get on your knees and scrub it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, while that would be a way of teaching her a lesson, I think money loss for your time is a better lesson teacher.
Absolutely, man. I mean, ultimately, I think that you're paying $200. That's the premium number. There's no contract in place. This is a contract of goodwill.
Broken trust now.
And although she did perform the tasks requested, she also left behind a trail of mess.
Trail of tears.
A trail of tears and teenage debauchery. You know what I mean? And that in and of itself is disturbing enough. I mean, if you were to hire somebody to come in here and clean that up, it'd cost at least $100. I would give her $150 and just say, listen, we really appreciate the fact that she came over every single day and that she did theoretically what we asked her to do.
But she disrespected
And yet at the same time, it took a lot of effort and frustration to remedy the situation. We had the house professionally cleaned before we left, so that it would be clean when we got back. So we appreciate that she did what we asked, but we wish she would have cleaned up after herself.
And not taken advantage of, we never said you could have a party with multiple people at my house.
To be expected from a 17-year-old.
Correct. I mean, I've done way worse.
Yeah, dude.
Way worse.
You know the story. Hey, I'm watching this family's dog. They're in Florida. Come over.
We smoke weed.
And
I'm not going to be there and go, I wish I was drugs in my house. What was really funny out of the whole thing was, that my son instantly noticed the whipped cream top. All the stuff in the refrigerator. My daughter, who's 6, tried to be a little investigator and point out all these blemishes. I'm like, no, Max. That's from you.
That's funny.
That's from you. And then Max is sitting there with her arms crossed going, I'm just disappointed. And get my wife even more fired up. Like, was that there the way? And I'm like, guys, stop digging. Ben, that's exactly what I did. I took off $50 and I sent it to her. I didn't need to explain anything else. There's your money. Moving on, ManFUzed has hit a new milestone, Ben.
Indeed.
We have received our first official 1-star negative review on Apple Podcasts.
Oh, that is something to celebrate.
Up until last Saturday, we were rated as 5 stars.
Across the board. We say, please leave us a review.
Absolutely. And if you haven't, please do. And
not a negative one, though.
If you feel that it's negative and you really want to take that much time out of your day to purposely go out of your way to leave us a negative comment,
we'll take it as a compliment.
Well, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Because we're not for everyone.
No.
We've said it. We are not for everyone.
We're
not trying to be.
No, absolutely.
I have the comment here if you'd like to hear it.
I'd love to hear it.
I don't know who this person is. The first 2 episodes left me with a dropped jaw more than once.
Wait. Which episodes?
It didn't say.
1 and 2?
I didn't say.
Or our last 2?
It didn't say. It could have been the last 2. It could have been the first 2. Which ones do you think would have left her jaw dropped?
From the sound of it, probably any of them.
Yeah. Could be. Inappropriate and misogynistic at times.
Misogynistic is such a word that is being tossed around right now. You know, everybody's supposed to be like gender neutral and this, that, and the other thing. I don't mean any disrespect to gender neutral or feminine people, but I'm a man.
We're men.
We are men. This show is called ManFUzed.
Yeah, ManFucking Fused.
And we're not trying to offend anyone with misogyny. That's garbage, dude.
But we have urges.
But if you consider this misogynistic, then you're right. And that's okay.
Yeah,
I don't consider it misogynistic.
No.
I consider it to be honest.
Hey,
if honesty is misogyny, then I don't want to be not misogynistic.
Hey, I open the door for my wife. I don't expect that she's in the kitchen cooking for me all the time, which she does cook for me a lot, but that's because she likes to do it and I like to receive it, but I'm not. And I know there's different forms of misogynistic behavior.
Right.
I mean, it could be catcalling and
I
shit
think
like that. We don't do that.
I think of someone actually going online to literally write a review about something misogynistic and offensive is not what we do here. I don't think of what we do here as that level of misogyny. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't think so. But I mean,
if you're talking masculinity, dude, I like V8s. I'm a gas man.
That's right.
Yeah, I like oil. I like exhaust.
Yeah, we're men. I mean, what do you expect to get here? A bunch of weeping bitches?
Yeah, we better tone it down. We don't want people thinking about misogyny when they hear us.
I have an idea, Ben. Let's throw logic out the window and get real emotional instead. Get in touch with our inner selves.
Well, that's probably true too. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we have female listeners. Yeah. Who love the show.
And I don't even know if this was a female. If this was a guy, I'm really...
What if it was a guy? Yeah, you're right. I'm only assuming it was a female, just based on the tone of the dictation there.
Maybe that's the misogynistic shit they're talking about.
Jeez, dude, that's next level.
Notice how I said they, because I don't know if it's a guy or a girl.
At this point, it would be... detrimental to assume.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if it was a guy, maybe it was a male nurse.
Shout out to Dick.
Yeah, from last week. Dick, we love you.
Honestly, I've come in contact with a few very masculine male nurses. So is that the whole review? So let's hear the whole thing.
From start to finish?
Yes.
Can I put like a different voice in
it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do the voice that you imagine.
Bummer. First 2 episodes left me with a dropped jaw more than once. Inappropriate and misogynistic at times. Pretty disappointed in Kay Lee, as I found him pretty funny on TBS.
Ooh.
Which is The Burt Show, which is a show that I'm a part of.
That's right.
My weekly job.
So you're funny on The Burt Show, but not on ManFUzed. You're misogynistic and offensive.
And a dirtbag.
God.
But here's the thing. I'm the same way. I am notorious on that show for saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Whether it be to my wife or to any other members on the show. I'm notorious.
Yeah.
I mean, dude. That's me here as I am there. Now, I might be a little more unfiltered with the language. I might be able to get away with more here, but I'm the same freaking person. I'm not dumbing it down.
Right, exactly.
First 2 episodes left me with a dropped jaw more than once. Inappropriate and misogynistic at times. Pretty disappointed in Kay Lee, as I found him funny on TBS.
Sound like a Karen. That was like...
I don't know what that was. I just channeled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I've never
even done that. I don't know if you were a boy or a girl.
I don't either.
You might be an it. You were like Pat. Do you remember Pat on Saturday Night Live? You couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl. It's like, where's Pat? And it was like,
yeah, exactly.
He's like, hey.
It was like, it's Pat.
It's
like
Pat.
It was a whole intro.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's found out. Is he a boy or a girl?
At the end of the day, we're not for everybody. And you know what? Nobody is for everybody. This country is split 50-50 on all the major issues. And you know what? That's fine. I hope people that don't like us listen too. It's all good because we're not for everybody.
Taking it as a badge of honor because, up until this point, I mean, we don't have thousands of reviews, but they've been 5 stars. But you know what? That just proves we're doing amazing.
We're doing a good job.
We are alienating some and pissing some off.
Look, man, I don't want to piss anybody off, but, this person doesn't have to listen. That's fine.
Did you have to really go out of your way? This is why I celebrate it.
Yeah.
To take time out of your day. You just wasted, apparently.
Dude, we're living rent-free in their head.
They just wasted, apparently, almost 2 hours listening to us.
Yeah.
But then went on there to purposely write a review about their disdain of the ManFUzed podcast and how inappropriate we are.
Well, I think that the interesting thing is I think this is going to cause people to really want to listen. That read that review, they're going to be like, "Oh, I need to get some of that misogyny.
I need to get some of that inappropriateness.
That inappropriate misogyny."
Yeah, just don't listen with your kids in the car.
Yeah. Maybe that should be the name of the show. Inappropriate misogyny.
Well, we could. I mean, it could be that could be another tagline
or a T-shirt.
Yeah.
We need a vote. Let us know if you want us to produce a T-shirt that says inappropriate misogyny on it.
It says a lot. Is that how we want to be typecasted? You know, would be funny, though, taking the review word by word and putting that on a shirt.
Oh, that'd be funny.
1 star.
I love it. I think we should.
Bummer. The ManFUzed Podcast, bummer.
Yeah.
What we could take, just because we don't have to put the K Lee in the TBS, because I think that, like, what's TBS? The main review of inappropriate, misogynistic, jaw-dropped, bummer, 1 star out of 5 on the shirt.
Yeah. I like that idea. Great
to
marketing.
Celebrate.
First 1-star review, we are going to produce a T-shirt.
Correct.
So inappropriate misogyny is out. We're going to screenshot the review and put it on a T-shirt. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, minus the K Lee disappointed in, obviously you're disappointed in general, so it doesn't matter that it's me focused on.
So you want to remove that part?
We're just going to take the text of the review.
Oh, okay.
Like,
it'd be funny to just screenshot.
We could do it
That'd
way,
be pretty fucking funny.
We could do it that way,
You know what I'm saying? We'll look at some different options.
If it makes it easier to just put it on the shirt.
I don't know. I just think it'd be funnier.
So would you put it on the back of the shirt or the front of the shirt?
Probably on the back. Put the logo on the front and have that on the back.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a funny shirt.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying.
That's a really funny shirt, actually.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So any negative reviews, feel free to say what you're going to say.
Oh, can we reply to her review?
We can't.
Oh. I would just like to thank her. Him, whoever.
We're doing it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it'd be funny to memorialize it and have that be part of the shirt, too.
Considering now that I know that they listened to 2 episodes here, but they've also heard me on TBS, my social media posts might come across their eyes even if they're trying to avoid it. When we have that screenshot of the merch shirt.
That's right.
And I post it on both of my social media.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's going to go, that's my review.
That's my review.
Yes, it is.
And they will probably seek revenue.
And we thank you for that. Yeah. So please listen and leave us reviews. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Balenciaga.
This whole thing with Balenciaga, if you haven't heard about it, you're probably living under a rock right now. And it's incredibly explosive. And it's incredibly dramatic. And honestly, you want to talk about offensive, dude? This is next level stuff. Adidas and Balenciaga did a collab where they're basically putting Adidas stripes on Balenciaga clothing. And they're putting Adidas stripes on Balenciaga purses. They've got the little Adidas flower logo that usually has Adidas below it with Balenciaga below it, okay? So they did an ad campaign photo shoot for this new line between Adidas and Balenciaga and for Balenciaga itself, separate from Adidas. Okay?
Gotcha.
In these photos, which they did put out, they put out on their website. They thought it was great, dude. Here's the funny thing. They thought this was just going to be the shit. It was going to blow up and they're going to sell all this gear. I mean, it's one of the biggest fashion brands on the planet. It's like Gucci.
Whoever approved it's like, this is going to shake up the fashion world.
Oh, dude, it was big time. There is rumor in the world about specifically elitist type people being pedophiles. So pedophilia is something that is disgraceful. They should be killed. I mean, even convicted rapists and murderers in maximum security prisons will kill a pedophile. Pedophile is the most dangerous thing to go to jail for because you are disdained in federal prison.
How scared do you think R. Kelly is?
Quite frightened. But even with R. Kelly, and I'm not saying that what he did was right, but my understanding of R. Kelly is that he did a lot of crazy stuff with girls who were like 12, 13, 15, stuff like that, like under 18, right? This particular ad campaign has to deal with little kids, young kids. I'm talking like 4-year-old, 5-year-old kids who are literally holding a teddy bear purse that is in sexual bondage with all types of Satanist symbols around them. So that in and of itself was messed up. You've got the kids in inappropriate photos. Then with regard to particularly the purse and other Adidas Balenciaga ads, bro, they had the purse. They did like this whole scene like it was in a New York office with a desk and like paper strewn all over the desk and stuff. And then the purse sitting on top of that, right? Sitting under the purse is a document which has a court case where the Supreme Court ruled that the insinuation of pedophilia, okay, the insinuation of it, talking about it, verbalizing it, saying you do it, saying you like it, is not the same as it actually happening. So saying that you are a pedophile or saying that you participate in pedophilia and all those things, that's not a crime. The act is a crime, but talking about it is not a crime. It was that court document underneath the purse. I mean, that's deep, bro. That's real deep.
What would be the motivation? What do they have? Some pedophile that's running the ad?
It's a fucking pedophile ring. I mean, ultimately what you're doing is you're promoting pedophilia to your audience. You're saying, hey, all the high-end elite pedophiles out there, on Jeffrey Epstein Island hanging out.
Right.
Guess what? We're putting out some new pedophile-approved purses and clothing and things of that nature. I mean, it's sick, bro. And then not only that, in one of the ads, you have this yellow tape, like caution tape that's put up. On the yellow tape, Balenciaga starts with B-A-L. On the yellow tape, they had an additional A. So it was Balenciaga. Okay, now Baal, do you know who Baal is? Baal is an ancient god that is like from way back in the day. They sacrificed kids. They sacrificed children. They sacrificed their children. Now, when you go deeper into the name Balenciaga, and if you translate Balenciaga with B-A-A-L, so B-A-A-L is the first word, Inci is the second word, and Aga is the third word, and you translate that to Latin, it means Baal is king.
Shut your mouth.
Yes, bro.
Was this ever pointed out before this ad campaign?
And there were all types of upside down stars and satanic symbolism and satanic art, innuendos and directions toward pedophilia and child abuse. I mean,
this right here, this was one of the ads.
Yes.
Was that a beer can with a candle?
Yeah, with Balenciaga on the tape down there.
Look at it all over the chair.
Yeah, dude. Baal is king. That Baal was an ancient god who the followers of Baal sacrificed children to Baal. Is that not sick, dude?
Got like duct tape.
Yeah. I mean, it's like chains and whips and duct tape and like BDSM on kids.
There is so much in this picture
that
insane. I'm like zooming in and analyzing the writing on the walls.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. So up until this point, Balenciaga is a high-end brand, right?
Oh, super high-end, like Gucci or something.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So had anyone ever put the Balenciaga thing together in the past? And
no, because actually the fashion house, I forget his first name, but Balenciaga was a Spanish fashion designer in the 1700s.
Okay.
And Balenciaga is a really old company, a really old-fashioned company. Mr. Balenciaga is said to be kind of the grandfather of all these high-end fashion brands like Gucci and different
I'm sure
ones.
Versace probably, he was an inspiration to Gianni Versace
But
as
when
well.
you add an A and you separate it into 3 different words and translate it to Latin, it means Baal is king. Now, there's a lot of king type names. I mean, my name, right? My last name. Heidenreich, right? I mean, there's a lot of different ways that can be translated.
My son's name is Kai and means king.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, we have translations to our name. What I'm saying is that obviously someone cleverly figured out the translation and added the A on purpose, bro. I mean, that's not a misprint. These devilish, Satanist-looking drawings are not by accident. That's not by accident, dude. These poor little kids, you know, look, the kids in the ads were paid models, right?
Right, of course.
But you've got some real sickos out there who are said to drink the blood of children when they are at their height of pain. So they torture them, which apparently raises the adrenochrome.
Are you talking about like hundreds of years ago or current
I'm talking
day?
about now. I'm talking about that's what this is talking about. That's what this is implying.
And promoting.
This is implying and promoting the consumption of adrenochrome, which adrenochrome is something that's in the blood, and it's at its highest level in children who die in significant pain.
It's almost like you don't want to kill an animal when they're in fear because it'll make the meat taste weird. So you want it to be, they don't even know it's coming. Because if they know they're going to slaughter, it's going to fuck up the whole point of killing it.
Exactly. And in this particular case with little babies and children, it's the opposite because it makes the adrenochrome at a higher level. And the adrenochrome is actually the drug of choice, apparently, for these sickos.
Well, you ever see American Horror Story Hotel?
No.
So in that, Lady Gaga is actually a vampire in it. And it's about this hotel. And I think it's based on the hotel in Chicago. This serial killer who owned the hotel had all these hidden rooms. People would come and work for him, and then they would just disappear. In that depiction in American Horror Story, these vampires taking children's blood because that was their treat, child's blood. So I guess probably exactly what you're talking about.
So this is interesting because it's actually where the idea of vampires comes from. They say that there are real life vampires who actually drink blood and drink the blood specifically of children, and they're pedophiles, right? And this is not a rumor. This is not a theory. This is a fact. Whether these particular people who design these sets are doing that or not, there are people in the world who do this. There are people in the world who are pedophiles. And the normalization of pedophilia is something that's happening right now where they actually have symbols for boy lovers and girl lovers. And then they have another symbol for young boy lover and young girl lover.
What kind of symbol?
It's like a triangle that kind of swirls in on itself. And then that's the boy lover. And then the girl lover is a heart that kind of swirls in on itself. So there's all these different symbols of boy lover and girl lover and all this kind of stuff. And this is real, man. I mean, this is a part of our society. And this ad campaign puts it on full blast like nothing else has ever before. And this is major. I mean, you're talking Adidas. That's a major brand. Balenciaga, major brand. Now, if you start looking at Balenciaga and you look at their fashion shows and you look a lot at their fashion, it is pretty damn satanic looking stuff.
Like, so normally their branding is a little on the darker side anyway.
It's on the dark side a little bit, which I don't mind the dark side looking stuff. I think it's kind of cool, like gothic kind of looking stuff.
Yeah, no, I like that.
You know, it's kind of cool.
I'm even down with kind of the low-grade S&M type. Like,
yeah,
look,
dude, for sure.
But not if you've got kids involved. 5-year-old.
Pedophilia. So anyways, that's what's going on. And it has just absolutely caused a firestorm against this brand. People have been burning their shoes, burning their entire collections worth tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars of gowns and garments and shoes and clothing and sunglasses. And they're burning it. They're throwing it in trash cans. The stores are empty. No one is in these stores right now. Some of them have even closed. The one in Miami is completely closed.
So, do they have a Balenciaga store at Phipps here, which is like the high-end
I'm not sure.
mall? I don't even know if they have one in Atlanta.
I don't know if they do or not.
Probably in Vegas.
Oh, they have them all over the place, and they are empty.
Is that like going into a Hermes or something like that, or a Versace? Or So this picture from their October...
Which I'm proud of. I'm proud of that. I love the fact that people have stood up and rejected this. Balenciaga's apologized, and now they're suing the ad agency as if it's their fault. Like it wasn't approved by the top executives. This was their major holiday ad campaign, bro.
So this October celebration, here's another picture featuring that teddy bear bag, the one that's all S&M'd out with
a beaten up girl. Exactly.
It's depicting physical abuse towards a woman.
Bear looks sick, dude. In not a good way sick.
It's not a cool bear. My son has a teddy bear bag. that is gangster as hell.
Yeah.
From a company that I love called Sprayground.
Okay.
It's got the jailhouse tattoos.
Yeah.
It's holding a wad of money. It's got gold teeth. It's got a chain.
Yeah.
It looks like a gangster bear.
Right. Looks like a rapper.
It's cool. This thing, the bear looks like it's an abused, chained up
bear.
It looks like it's been beaten like the girl.
That's right. The art and things they posted, if you go down the rabbit hole of the artists who drew the art, and then you start looking at their art, and if you start looking at Balenciaga's designers, and people have gone back on their social media pages and looked historically at some of their photos, bro, you've gotten some satanistic, demonish, devilish, pedophile ring type shit going on like you've never seen before, bro. It's unbelievably disturbing. It's sad, ultimately. Kim K, Kanye West, Nicole Kidman on the payroll.
Kim Kardashian was like 8.
She's the main thing. When Kanye walked, when Adidas kicked Kanye because of what he said, they partnered with Balenciaga through Kim. Then this ad campaign came out.
After Adidas fired Kanye, they went and got his ex-wife and partnered with her.
With Balenciaga. Mixing Adidas and Balenciaga.
Has she fired them?
No, dude. She went 6 days without saying anything at all. 6 days, she said nothing. Then she came up with this like bullshit like statement, like we're reviewing our agreements. But I feel that Balenciaga is going to do the right thing and that they understand and children should be protected at all times and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, you can't come back from this. You know, I think that's it for Kim K too, dude. I mean, I think it's it for Balenciaga. I think Adidas is going down because of this. I think it's just getting started, man, bro. It's disgusting.
I mean, the fact that you have that document underneath the bag, which basically is saying that you can talk about pedophilia as long as you're not actually exercising it, but you could celebrate it.
Which is what the ads are doing, is talking about it and celebrating it through imagery, symbols, and so it's pretty sick.
Who is in the boardroom going,
we love it.
The hell with this subtle shit.
Yeah.
Let's just come out and just say what we are about.
Only if you are a pedophile who's surrounded by pedophiles and convinced that everyone has the same thing that you do going on, but they just aren't saying it. That would be the only reason.
Hey, Bill, I'm a pedophile. You're a pedophile, right? He'll approve this campaign because he loves pedophiles. The fact that somebody went, how many different levels of bureaucracy had to put their stamp of approval before this hit the press? You're talking everybody at the ad agency, design team, to the concept team, to the person that stands in between Balenciaga and the ad agency, and then Balenciaga had to approve it multiple layers up and go, let's go.
It's insane.
I think that's crazy. Another hint, just another piece of evidence to the underground subculture that is in Hollywood and ingrained in everything else that you hear about, and it's almost like stuff of myth.
That's right.
You know who's another really fucked up individual? Armie Hammer. Heard about his shit? Well, you know who Armie Hammer is. He's an actor.
Right.
And he was a good actor, and he's been in a bunch of movies, but over the...
Cool name.
I think the dude is managing real estate now. He's got no career because... His ex-girlfriends and wives have come out, and he claims to be a cannibal.
Wow.
Verbal and physical abuse. Pull up some quotes of what he said. There's a whole documentary now on him. I mean, he totally fits the bill, and I'm not saying Armie Hammer is a pedophile.
Right.
But as far as this cannibal vampire, there's a lot of crazy, freaky shit that goes on in these subcultures of Hollywood.
Yeah,
whether it be from casting and auditioning to taking advantage of women and adults, young adults.
Right.
You know, you want this part, people exercising their power to get you to do things that you weren't comfortable doing or whatnot. The whole Bill Cosby. I mean, how many years was that dude drugging women? How many women did he rape? And how long did he get away with it?
A lot. And speaking of Kanye West, Apparently, when he got out of the mental institution that they put him in, he asked how much lithium they were going to put him on, and they wouldn't tell him. And apparently, he would have died at the amount of lithium that he figured it out, and he would have died. And so one of the things that he said is, look what Michael Jackson, and his opinion is that these people were all murdered. You know, if you look back at Prince's last concerts, he was saying, I'm coming out against contracts. I'm coming out against Hollywood. What I'm going to do is going to be groundbreaking.
Last show was in Atlanta at the Fox.
Yeah. And
before he died.
Then on his way back on the plane, he apparently lost breath. They had to bring the plane down in an emergency, and then he died.
Died at home. Found him, I believe, in the elevator at his big compound.
So there's a lot of things that Kanye has said, and I realize that he said some, I'm not agreeing with anything he said, but he has said some pretty horrible things. You're talking about Hollywood is the reason I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
But he has said some pretty horrible things about how these influencers or stars, basically, are treated by their quote-unquote handlers in Hollywood.
Just when you thought the elevator for Kanye couldn't go any further down.
Right.
I believe his interview and his appearance on Alex Jones from InfoWars.
Yeah.
Here is a hooded Kanye West praising Nazis during an Alex Jones interview. Jeez. Now, he's in a mask, and even Alex Jones throughout the interview is like, are we going to wear this mask the whole entire time? This is one of the clips.
That's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Whoa. Certainly from the perspective of Hitler. And I mean, the worst thing that Hitler did was the Holocaust.
Of course.
And as it pertains to the things that Ye has been talking about lately, you know, talking about Jewish people as a whole, and, you know, which I think is really a big mistake to talk about any people as a whole, because that in and of itself does not imply love and understanding. You can call out an individual or a group of individuals that may be partners in doing, you know, some type of business or something like that. But to call out an entire people for any reason is probably not a good idea.
And you can't blame it on mental health.
I hate to see what's going on. I mean, I hate to see him say these kinds of things. It really hurts because I'm a fan of his music and I'm a fan of his as an artist. And it hurts me to hear him say these kinds of things. They're abhorrent. I do see him pushing the limits of free speech.
We did talk about this a few episodes back.
Yeah.
I thought your take on Kanye West being a genius,
right,
in some senses, and not agreeing with what he had said.
Right.
But also that he was one of the most successful African-American men in history.
Ever.
Period.
Right.
Can't deny. Your take on it, I can understand that.
Right.
He was doing this on purpose.
Yes.
He was pushing it. Elon Musk just took him off of Twitter.
Did he?
Kanye West posted on Twitter after this Alex Jones interview, the Star of Israel, with a Nazi symbol.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Elon said, done.
We're done.
We are not promoting this shit here.
Yeah.
We are not promoting the hatred and violence we're just not doing it.
No.
When you look at Kanye and you look at the African-American people that have been oppressed, you don't see a lot of...
It's almost like that skit that Dave Chappelle did.
Yeah.
Where he was the blind KKK leader.
Oh my God, that was the funniest skit.
He didn't know he was black.
Right.
But Dave Chappelle did a skit. It was funny. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, if you really think that, if you have the balls to say it, you think it. And honestly, bro, with all this stuff that's coming out on this Balenciaga and Adidas thing, and Kanye's, a couple weeks outside of that?
He was connected to it just a couple weeks
all
ago.
This shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's the one he's the fashion designer.
And when Kim and, I don't know how long Kim has had the deal with Balenciaga, Kanye has been at some of those meetings.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, they've been intimately involved in all of this, which is, I don't know, dude. I can't call it. It's sick, bro. This whole thing is disgusting. This whole Balenciaga thing is disgusting. Adidas now is wrapped up in it. Even worse.
Nike's like, let it flow, let it flow, let it flow.
Yeah, it's like Drake said, checks over stripes.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, Nike's not accused. They might run sweatshops in whatever countries for their shoes, but
who doesn't?
Yeah, who doesn't? Who doesn't? Thank you for listening to the ManFUzed Podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to join the show. Hit us up at manfused.com or feel free to hit us up at 770-744-5227. You can text us or leave us a voice message. And the ManFUzed Podcast now has merch. I'll have that link in our episode description.